All right, so today we have Will Hardy here from Compass Corporate. If you don't mind, give us a little bit of a background about you, what your role is with Compass, and then we'll dive into some more additional topics.
Absolutely. Well, Cory, first of all, thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
It's a pleasure to be here. It's a beautiful, sunny summer day. So there are not many better places to be than the beaches in Delaware.
Amen.
In August.
I'm with you.
So I am Robert Reffkin's chief of staff. So Robert is the founder and CEO of Compass Real Estate. I've been with him for 4 years. I've been at Compass for 8. I was originally actually on a team that we call Compass Strategic Growth, which is a team that recruits real estate agents to come to Compass.
Yeah.
Did that in New York City for about a year, and then was asked to go open Compass's office in Houston, Texas. Never been to Texas before. And this was 2018. So this was the fall of 2018. And I lived in a hotel in Houston for about 4 months. I'd come back and forth on the weekends back to New York, opened Compass in Houston, talked to my wife, but at the time she was my girlfriend, and kind of said, hey, any interest in moving to Houston? And so we moved to Houston.
Did you? Okay.
We did, yeah. So we lived there for 3 years, helped grow Compass in Houston. And then in 2021, while we were still in Houston, I opened Compass in Jacksonville, Florida, and Minneapolis, Minnesota. So I took 136 flights in 2021.
So you've got some miles.
I got some miles. Yeah, we're still using them. It's great. Actually, that's great. But I have been around real estate really my entire life. My grandmother was a real estate agent in Connecticut. She was with Prudential. She actually sold the first $1 million house in Westport, Connecticut, which is a suburb of New York City, which is a big deal. And I think there's something for me, and we can talk maybe a little bit more about this, that's really interesting about real estate agents. My mom was one of 5 kids. She was the girl, and she had 4 brothers. And her dad was an English teacher at the public high school in Westport. And, times were a little bit better there. Affordability was a little bit better back then. But still, raising 5 kids on an English teacher's salary and sending those kids to college, that's hard.
Yep. And
so my grandmother became a real estate agent, and, it gave her the flexibility to raise a family of 5, but also the income to support them.
Sure.
And I think, I didn't really think about it as much when I was younger, but the more I think about it now, it's one of the reasons why I'm so passionate. Like hearing you and meeting you today and talking with you about your business, you're an entrepreneur. And at Compass, I want to be able to do everything that I can to empower you to be better for your career, for your family, for whatever it is that you want to do. That's okay. So long-winded intro, but that's me.
No, it's a great intro because we have buyers and sellers that watch this podcast. We also have, agents that watch the podcast and everything. And I think that it's really important. When I made the change, it was last September, a lot of brokerages that are out there, it's, kind of the typical, and it was really, been a very strange vibe coming over to Compass. It's a very humbling atmosphere from the corporate side. It is very much so we are here for you, the agents, not you are here for us.
Of course.
Which, I don't know. It was an amazing thing to you hear it when you get recruited and you hear things, of course, the sales pitch is a sales pitch. Oh yeah, okay.
Sure.
And when I started to hear it and see it and now start to live it, it's like, wow, it really is. And, Robert, I've met him a number of times, and he truly is one of the most grounded people. He really flies coach. Yes, it's crazy. But that action, flying coach, is bleeds into his personality when he's around agents. He doesn't walk around like, hey, I'm the CEO, I started this company. It's like he truly is, I'm here for you. He's approachable, he's there for everyone. And it was just it's been a really cool vibe. So not that this podcast is for bringing agents over, even though we are looking for people, but anyway. It really has been such a great vibe.
I think you bring up something that's really important, right? And I think I'm imagining that this is something that you really believe in, right? When you're selling something, whether it's a house, whether it's a meal, right? Whether it's any business that you're running that is selling a good or service, you have to treat people like clients. You have to treat them like customers. And I've always believed in that. There's this very kind of basic central idea, the customer is always right? I work for you. Literally, even though every time you close a transaction, you pay Compass a percentage of your transaction, I work for you. And if you need something, I'm going to figure out how we can get it for you. If you want to brainstorm about an idea, I want to make the time to do that. And I think that the best people in real estate really do treat their clients like customers, and they focus on building a relationship with them and investing in them and thinking about them. There's so many more things, but I think at the bedrock of Compass is this idea, this really, really solid idea that now is a belief that you are our customer. And we have to treat you like that. And that's, I think, what separates us from a lot of companies.
Yeah, I remember there was an event in Philly and Robert was talking and he asked a question and a woman said something and everyone's kind of like, why would you bring that up? And his response was, let's look into that. And it was, everyone was kind of like, why in the world are you criticizing, kind of an initiative? And he was like, no, let's look into that. And let's if that is truly a problem, we'll get that fixed. And it was like one of those eye-opening moments for me. I was like, wow, this is true.
That's
and that was like right in the very beginning when I first changed over, and it was like, wow, it was pretty neat. Yeah, so but it is, what you said, and I do, and I think that is how agents are treated by corporate, and this is a different model than, your more traditional brokerage franchise style based. And then, we've spoken about it on the podcast before about the benefit of Compass platform and being corporate based, and that when I upload a listing, every agent around, which our total number of agents now, what?
37,000.
Okay. 37,000 agents will see my listing when I put it in there, versus when you work for an independent a franchise style brokerage, at your sales meeting on Tuesday, kind of let people know, hey, I have a listing. And that kind of,
sure,
that's it. Sure. It's pretty easy to get word out there. But that's also where the reach stops. So whereas I can reach everyone coast to coast, which is awesome.
We've seen that, right? I mean, Compass has the most active referral network inter-brokerage of any real estate brokerage, right? So approximately 17% of all Compass transactions are referrals. And so if you think about that, if you're one of your clients, right, there's a big chance that someone buying here in Lewis is not necessarily maybe from Lewis. They should be from California. They might be from Texas. They might be from Florida. I mean, they could be from Washington, D.C. I mean, there's so many reasons why. And so to have that interconnected network and then make sure that we give you the opportunity to build relationships with those agents from Los Angeles and Texas, Florida, that's then I think what facilitates it, and it allows you to walk into your clients and say, hey, I'm an agent. This is what I do. Here's how I'm going to sell your property. And oh, by the way, I have this reach, this national reach, whereby if there are buyers looking over out of state, I know the top agents in all those markets. Yeah, it's important.
Well, kind of I water it down to kind of an analogy that's this simple. You have two framers that are out there building a house, and they're both equally skilled, and you give one a hammer and you give one a nail gun. It's the tool.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean?
I like that. I'm going to take that.
I don't know. I just feel when I came over here, and it's funny, I was very big when I was talking there, originally to TJ, and I was like, I have all of my technology built in. It's cool. I know you guys have your technology. I'm good. And soon thereafter, I'm like, wow, I'm missing the boat. Like,
really
got rid of all my technology. I'm like,
So you really felt that. You felt when you came. So you were like, hey, I got tech, the Compass tech. I know Compass has tech, but how good is it really?
I'm like, I have a marketing background. I've been doing this. I implemented, all of this tech for builders before. I've got all together.
Yes.
What I don't have is $2 billion to put into a piece of software.
Of course.
That it helps me is my nail gun. I was swinging a hammer before.
Yep.
And it really is. It was like almost instant. Just imagine. You're putting the walls together with a hammer and you put it down and pick up a nail gun. It's instant.
Yeah.
I have this tool that instantly increases my visibility, my workability, increases my workflow and everything. It's been fantastic. So, kudos to everyone on your side of the stick. Us agents, we truly do appreciate everything that you guys are putting into it, because it's been helpful. But, we do have other companies out there that are, when you are doing things that are innovative, people sometimes that are also maybe trying to do things that are quote unquote innovative may come at you and, swing sticks and try to, I don't know, add wrinkles into things, and or smaller companies that maybe don't have the same size or availability get sour and say things. And I've been hearing out there from, on different podcasts and TikTok, and agents are talking about the Compass 3-phase marketing, which I had John on, and John was like, I need to can't emphasize this, it's 3-phase marketing. It's not 2-phase marketing.
I know.
It's 3-phase marketing.
Yep.
And that third phase is, going on the MLS. But, a lot of them are, this Compass just wants to double side all the deals and blah, 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 blah. And it is farther from the truth. And I don't know if this statistic has changed, but at the time, John said 92% of closings through Compass agents happen on the MLS.
Yeah. So actually 94.
Okay.
94% of all transactions, the properties end up going to the MLS.
That's true. I mean,
it's massive.
It's just a matter of, again, using that framing gun of us being able to, and look, there's times that it is, it happens before it hits the MLS and we're able to get, maximize value and get them the most they can. There's times it gets to the MLS, but we still get to, the analogy I use is like, when I played lacrosse and you don't just jump out on the field in spring and start playing, you got to warm up.
Sure.
You got to practice a little bit and get back into the swing of things. Most people also, how many times are they in a transactional aspect in real estate in their life? A few times. So they forget, and it's changed a lot since when they bought and sold a house 20 years ago. Of course. So they kind of get warmed up to it also, and they get prepared for when the showings start and everything else. So I think helps the mental side of it. It helps us be able to hit the market strong and running at a sprint instead of walking and then getting up to a sprint. But I would love to kind of hear your feedback onto like where did 3-phase marketing come from a corporate standpoint, and I think it's crazy beneficial to my clients. I'd love to hear from your side.
Yeah, so this is actually the Compass 3-phase marketing strategy is one of the things that I've been working pretty intensely on over the past 12 months. I think at a very baseline level, homeowners deserve to choose how they market and sell their homes. And I think one of the things that's really surprising to me is that a lot of homeowners don't realize that they don't have that choice, right? So if a client comes to you and says, Cory, I'm interested in selling my house, can you put a sign in my yard? I don't want to put it up on, maybe the MLS or public sites. Can you maybe put something on Facebook and put a couple Instagram posts together? But like, I want to keep it kind of hush hush, but let's do a little something.
Or whatever the reason is.
For whatever the reason, it doesn't matter. Like, it literally doesn't matter. The client has made that choice. They can't do that. And that's just not right? The client should always have the choice of how they sell their home. I mean, this is for 99% of Americans, this is their most expensive asset.
Yeah.
This is something that really needs to be treated with care. And so what we did is about a little over a year ago, we started looking a little bit more at what some of our top agents were doing, and then also the most sophisticated people in real estate, which are home builders and developers, right? Professional builders build hundreds of thousands of homes across the United States a year. I know you work with a lot of builders, they are the best of the best when it comes to selling homes. And if you think about, Lennar, it's a publicly traded company, right? Like, they have shareholders that they have to react to. And what we saw is home builders, they're not required to put a property into the MLS. They can market a property outside of the MLS.
Sure.
And we started to think about, why would they do that? And started to talk to agents who were saying, I've actually been using, playing within the rules that NAR and MLS has set, which is a whole other topic. But I've been starting listings as, private exclusives, office exclusives, to test price, to generate excitement. I think of it like Hollywood, right? Hollywood releases a movie trailer 12 months before the movie might be actually ready for theaters. Why do they do that? Because they want people to buy tickets.
Sure.
They want that theater to be packed.
Yep.
If you're selling someone's house, you want that first open house to be packed. You want there to be 100 people that show up, right? A line out the door showing, excitement and anticipation, and wow, this one's going to go quick, right? Like, that's the ultimate goal. And so everything that we're doing here from the standpoint, what John mentioned, you're correct. It's a 3-phase marketing strategy. 94% of properties sell in the MLS. People, I think, are trying to say Compass is trying to double in deals and sell more deals off market. Okay. I mean, look, if they want to continue to say things like that, I think that you as an agent and all Compass agents, I think will continue to have an advantage. And I think that for two reasons. One, Compass is really one of the only companies that is advocating for the homeowner right now. It's unbelievable. It is just unbelievable to me, the silence from other brokerage CEOs that are not standing up for the homeowner. So that's I think.
Sure.
I do believe in the long tail future that choice wins, choice versus control. Like, choice is something that wins. And so I think that's a big point. But also, too, is when you walk into a listing presentation and you're pitching against other agents from other firms, you are pitching a differentiated strategy, right? You're pitching the ability to test price. You're pitching the ability to pre-market before maybe they're ready to start taking photos of their home or sell their home or gauge interest, create an interested buyers list. You're able to do all these incredible things, and you're competing against an agent that says, yeah, my marketing strategy is we're actually just going to put the property on the MLS. That's not really a strategy.
Well, and I think that, I hear on these podcasts and whatever, and just so you know, a lot of times, and it's not always, but a lot of times when I look at these podcasts and I look at the brokerages, they tend to be independent brokerages.
Okay.
So again, if that's who I work for, I got to figure out what's my pitch.
Yeah.
How do I pitch against something that's that powerful? Well, we try to, they're just trying to double end the deal. We got to figure out some way of what our pitch is. So I don't know if that's what the story is, but kind of feels like it. But with that being said, so they go out there and they do this, and we're trying to, I think that they just don't know how to overcome the idea that they don't have any way of offering a similar product. So you just try to downplay it and water it down, which is, I don't know. I tell my clients this all the time, you are where you are because you worked hard and you're probably intelligent, you've done things. I don't need to tell you what is a good decision. Now, I'm always here to advocate for you and help you through and, be a sounding board. But to pretend, I hear people say, well, when you do the three-phase marketing, they just do it off and they're not getting them as much money, to pretend that they're not smart enough to know what, that their house, that they're getting steamrolled or they're not getting as much money for it. My clients, and maybe not all clients are this, my clients are pretty intelligent people. And between, the number one, the data, market data that I'm bringing to them to begin with, when we're talking about what is a listing price, it's not like we're listing a home for $1 million and putting it at private exclusive for 600 and then trying to sell it. We're trying to be at that or above. And but they're smart people. I'm not going to try to pretend that they don't have a brain. Just because they don't work in the real estate industry and they work in accounting or something doesn't mean that they don't have a brain. So this is a team goal, me and my clients, of getting to the finish line. I mean, they're pretty smart people. Yeah. And again, I think a lot of it comes back to when you don't have the card to play, you just pretend that the other card is not. Sure, they should be folding.
Sure. I mean, look, I fundamentally, there's a couple things I'll say here. I fundamentally believe that every single homeowner should start their home when they're selling it as a private exclusive, right? Or at another brokerage, an office exclusive. Look, a whole other thing is I think that NAR should remove the rules that require these listings to not be publicly marketed. Stop fining and banning agents. Fining agents up to $5,000 is really what Clear Cooperation is. It's the rule that fines you up to $5,000 if you market a property before putting in the MLS. That's just not right. But every morning you turn on the shower. I take a shower, right? Every morning you turn on the shower, kind of exactly where to put the handle, right? The shower handle for the temperature. But every morning I still touch the water with my hand before I get in the pool. Even if I know the pool, even if you know the ocean, I don't just jump in. I put your foot in, you put your hand in, like you test the water.
Yeah.
That is what a private exclusive is doing. That is what an office exclusive is doing. And the reason why I think that's so important is you might have all the data in the world that says that a house is gonna sell for $850,000. And that's fantastic. You can't guarantee that. And if you're able to ahead of time say to your clients, look, $850 I think is the price that is correct for this home. That's what I'm recommending we go out with. But let's just double check ourselves. Let's take this one step. Let's put it as a private exclusive. Let me get some feedback from other agents and understand, do we have buyers at $850? And the reason why that's so important is there's no price record of that, right? If a buyer is purchasing a home and they see that home's been on the market here for 152 days and it's taken 2 price reductions, that buyer thinks the seller is desperate.
Yeah, not 100%.
And they might not be desperate. They just might have timed the market, not correctly. They might have gotten in at the wrong time or, put on the market at a price that used to be great 2 months ago, but now isn't as great today. And there's just so much value to it. I personally have had 2 unfortunate situations selling properties where we were priced too high. In one case, we were priced too high. And in one case, we literally just were we came on the market at the wrong time in 2022, right? At the beginning of 22, just before things really started to kind of come down. And we got burned both of those times. And I don't think that's right.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is, as we're sitting here having this discussion, my wheels are always turning. And it's when someone wakes up in the morning, there's a moment to where either, them and their partner or whatever, they decide to sell something, a pen, car, house, whatever. So if I wake up and I say, I think maybe we should put our house on the market as the seller, as the owner of the home, I can go into Zillow, or I can get a sign, or I can do whatever, and I can put it for sale by owner.
Yeah.
I don't understand why the rules change, because it's all about me, right? I'm the seller. It's all about me, and it's all about the buyer. We are the two main parties in the transaction. Yeah. The other people are worker bees. Realtors are just worker bees.
Yeah.
Facilitating.
Yeah.
So why do the rules change so drastically once I decide I haven't been able to get it, I need a little bit of help? I haven't been able to sell it yet. I did a FSBO. I put it anywhere where I had access to. So I think I might have someone that can list it for me. All of a sudden, the rules change.
Yeah.
But not for me.
Yeah.
They change because there's a change the agent, which affects me. Why is it not always about me? And that's where I get confused into why isn't this always focused about the main people in the transaction, which are the sellers and the buyers. They're the ones that are transferring money back and forth, transferring property ownership. Why isn't it always about them? Why are all these rules? And I understand it's supposed to protect them and all that, but I feel like we're regulating to a point that now we're not, it's not protecting them, we're just regulating.
Sure.
And maybe that's for data, maybe that's for additional monies, maybe that's for fines and dues and whatever, I don't know. But why can't I just say, hey, if you have anyone, can you bring me a buyer?
Yeah.
I don't, and yes, you can, but I don't know. It just gets so weird once you decide I want a realtor to help me sell my house.
Yep.
To help me sell my house.
Of course.
Not I'm selling your house for you. I feel like that's where we kind of, the break in the terminology, it should always be about them.
Correct.
And I think that's where the choice part of your comment comes in. And we've got so deep into this that we forget. And I could be oversimplifying this, but I don't know. It really seems like it's so simple. It's just two people, and then you have two other people that are helping them, and they're the ones that are getting hurt because they decided that they needed a little bit of help.
Of course. I mean, look, earlier this year, approximately 50% of homeowners were choosing to use the Compass 3-phase marketing strategy to sell their home. That was over 10,000 clients, and I mean, that's choice. Those were Compass agents offering a differentiated product and solution when it came to the other agents they were pitching against.
And by the way, the seller can tell the Compass agent, I don't want to, it is their voice.
Yes.
I just want to go to the MLS.
Okay. Of course. Just as the seller can choose to accept an offer off the MLS. They can choose to sell as an off exclusive. They could choose to sell as a Compass coming soon. They can choose to sell on the MLS. I mean, they can choose whatever they want. And that should be the whole point, is that the homeowner should be able to choose how they market and sell their home. And right now, they don't have that choice.
Yeah, I think some of the kind of the noise that's been put out there is, oh no, when you go with a Compass agent, you have to do 3-phase marketing.
Of course not.
That's the only way. It's no, they have. We explain the advantages of doing it, of all 3 phases. Do you want to do phase 1? Do you want to do phase 2? Or do you want to skip right to phase 3? They can pick and choose where they want to hop into the game. Maybe, they just got a job transfer and they want to go right to, okay, let's do it. Of course, go right in.
Yeah.
And I think that, again, it's just some misinformation or noise that's been put out there of, oh no, this is just the way it is. And I think, again, it's because they just don't have that tool.
Yeah.
They're still swinging hammers.
Yeah. I mean, look, we were talking cars before we got on. We're obviously both big car guys. If you go to a BMW dealership, I think we drove by one on the way here last night. Do you think that dealer would ever put on the front windshield of their car the number of days that car has been sitting on the lot and the price history? Could you imagine? Why on earth would the dealer who owns this car that they're trying to sell tell someone how long it's been sitting and how many price drops it's had? And there are people that say, say different things about that sort of thing. It's transparency. It's not transparency. It's just not information that is.
It's not really pertinent to the sale.
Correct.
Because it doesn't. If someone walks in, if the house has been on the market for 1 day, or the house has been on the market for 1,000 days, if they walk in and they fall in love with it and they're like, "This is the house for me," why does it matter how many days it's been on the market?
Yeah.
This is the right one. Okay, where do you think that it's worth in value? They're offering X. I think that it's worth Y. Then offer Y. And then again, we're back to the buyer and seller having communication via their agents until they come to an agreement. Yeah. Why does the number of days matter?
Totally. And I think, back to how did we create this? If you look at these professional builders and developers, real estate developers, this is the strategy, the 3-phase marketing strategy, the Compass 3-phase marketing strategy. They do that, and they've been doing that forever.
Oh, a build strategy. Yeah, a builder doesn't put on their spec on the market 65 days or something. They just, hey, we have a spec that's available.
Of course not. Because if a builder put, builder building, whatever, a 50-unit development, right? If they put all 50 units on the MLS, as soon as they, broke ground and started advertising it, the listings would be on for 365 days, 372 days. I mean, it's not like you build a house in 2 weeks. And so it's just, when you think about what the best in the business are doing, our job at Compass is always to try and equip our agents with the best support, the best technology, the best programs, the best ideas. Whatever it is, we will work, and we have worked tirelessly to continue to deliver that for you. The 3-phase marketing strategy is just another iteration of that. And we will continue to invest in things like that. We'll continue to invest in whatever the next great idea is. We are here to ultimately make you and your clients more successful.
Yeah. And I think that, and this is for other Compass agents that are out there, or for other agents that are maybe considering coming over to Compass, not every agent has their own office and marketing person with a graphics background and that can make things. So, I know what it was like being in a brokerage before. They had a marketing person and just so overwhelmed and trying to help, I need a 1 sheet for open house and whatever. The fact that we can go into the platform and type in the address, and then here's, 50 templates or 30 templates, whatever, endless number of templates that you can, I like the way that this one looks, it automatically pulls in the imagery from the listing. You hit print, and then there's your whatever it is that you need, or you want to do a social post, you go to social and create it. It makes life really simple and easy for one of the biggest, hardest parts of this industry, which is marketing.
Yep.
I have a marketing background, and I'm trying to do less marketing because I have work to do for the business. So that's why I have a marketing person that does that, and Steve is fantastic.
Yeah.
But not many people have that.
Yep.
So to have that tool is so great, and you don't have to just get in a queue with the other 50 or 100 agents of, okay, I have an open house tomorrow. Anyway, I can get bumped to the top, and totally, hey, here's a soda. Try to ride your way up on top of it. It's really great to be able to just go and click, print, and be out. It's neat. So that is, again, that's the whole nail gun approach. So we do have so many tools, and the tool is so powerful and has been really formulated in a way that's beneficial to agents. So no, and again, I think all of this, I want to thank all of you guys for everything that you do to help support us. I have a couple questions for you that I want to ask you. What is something that you're excited or really proud of? Whether in the industry or not in the industry, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just curious.
So let me give you 2 things. So one, my wife Olivia and I were actually expecting our first baby.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So we're expecting a girl. She's due November 14th.
Oh, very.
So we're really excited.
I've got 2 of them. So
yeah. 2 girls or?
2 girls.
2 girls. Okay. So how old are they?
13 and 8.
Okay. We're really excited. We're really excited. It's just, I think it's going to be this amazing moment. So we're really excited about that. That's on a personal side. On a professional side, you were kind of, I think, just talking about that with some of the marketing. I'm really excited about what Compass is doing when it comes to investing in artificial intelligence. And, I think, unfortunately, AI is kind of this buzzword now that's thrown around and in a lot of different ways. And that just is what it is. But Compass is investing and has been investing in artificial intelligence for years. So way before this kind of AI buzz, Compass has been investing in artificial intelligence. That's through tools like Likely to Sell, right? Where it looks through your CRM and determines based on a multitude of factors someone who might be more likely to sell their home or less likely to sell their home.
Yep.
That's a huge value to a lot of agents. But there's this concept of agentic AI, right? And what that means is basically when you have a platform where things are all kind of connected, you can unlock this kind of next level of AI. And when you think about ChatGPT or Gemini, I mean, they're very impressive tools, but they're kind of like Google searches with a mind.
Yeah.
Right. And I really think we're at like, the game just started. Like we are really in like the first minute of the game when it comes to AI. And so one of the things that I'm really excited about is at Compass, we've spent, almost $2 billion building this technology platform. And we didn't do that just because we wanted to spend $2 billion. We built that because there is no centralized platform for real estate agents. At a lot of brokerages, there are these tools that are all built by, or most of them built by third parties, some of them built in-house, but they don't talk to each other.
Correct.
And so your CRM's over here, and your marketing software's over here, and your search tools over here, and nothing kind of communicates. And so the average real estate agent, that means, has 12 different logins to different platforms.
Well, and this is one of my gripes before is 12 or whatever number of times I need to input my client's information.
Yeah.
The good thing is if they have a rough last name, you learn how to spell it at the end of it. But it's like, why in the world am I inputting this information multiple times?
Yeah. It's because no one built it, right? No one was investing in the agent. That's really why Compass came along. And so one of the things with AI, and just to give you kind of an example of how I think it's really going to help agents, and ultimately this will help clients, is, when it comes to marketing, right? There's a couple seemingly minute decisions, but they can have big impacts on a property. So things like photos. What photo should be the first photo, right? Things like listing description, things like social media posts, all these sorts of things that, are small in and of themselves, but they add up. With the AI that Compass is investing in, you will be able as an agent to say, hey, I've got this new listing in XYZ. Tell me which is the best photo to use. Is it a photo of the front door? Is it an aerial photo of the property showing the beach? Based on what are people who are searching on Compass, what are they clicking on? Are they spending more time on aerial drone shots, or are they spending more time on?
We're picking what we think.
Of course. You are, and you're using your best judgment, and the best agents have more experience.
We only have hours, not 30,000 agents that you can gather data from of what people are clicking on it.
And so for your marketing, Steve, you said was marketing director? Yeah. So for Steve to be able to say, hey, like, I am going to empower the technology to provide me with the best feedback, this AI, on the best photos to use, the best description to use, the social media posts I should use based on what's performing well out there. I mean, that's massive.
Yeah.
And that will be a huge unlock for agents. I think Compass agents are just poised to really receive a lot of the benefits, and therefore your clients are with this, because we have this connected platform.
Yeah.
It's a big difference.
Well, yeah. And again, so you take that same philosophy and you put it to a local brokerage that has 50 agents, what is your data output? Like that they gather data from versus averaging 37,000 pages.
Sure.
You get way more accurate.
Sure. And I love
all one platform.
It's all one platform. And I love local. Like the local brokerage of 50 people, I love that. I'd love for those people, it's like, come to Compass, keep everything you have, your brand, your office, all those sorts of things, but let us give you this technology platform. Like we're not trying to say, hey, Compass agents, are here, and, we don't want anyone else to be a Compass. Yeah. Like we really are not saying that. But I think that we've invested so much money, and we want to continue to make agents great, whether they're at Compass or not.
Yeah. Yep. No, I agree. Hey, I really appreciate you coming on. This is, I think, just been such great information. I think it's really good for people to hear from, corporate level of like, where are they? Are they just the peon sale, or are we just peon agents? Or do we matter? And it's obvious, obviously they matter and we matter to you guys, which, from my personal perspective and my team, I can't thank you guys enough for everything that you guys, your diligence and hard work to help support us constantly. And the more that you do for us, it allows us to help our clients out. And thank you for letting us be one of your customers.
Oh, of course. That's very nice. That's very nice. Thank you for being a customer.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And next time you're in town, please stop by. We'd love to have you on again.
We'll do it. Love to.
Thanks, Will.
Thank you.